Hey, excited utterance here. My name's Hella. I've been seeing you guys for a little bit. My friends from the Delphi sphere, maybe. Oh, I've seen some of you. But how's it going? How's it going? So today we have a special guest with us in the house. We have Aimee from Case by Case. I have to apologize to Aimee actually because I've been saying the name of her channel wrong a bit. I said Case X Case sometimes. Guys, how are we all? Hello in chat. Sorry to keep you waiting a little bit. We've been having a good old chinwag back here. And yep, guys, people who've been sending me nice thoughts and stuff regarding Seraph, I have some news, and it's good news regarding Seraph. Seraph ate solid food, not just this last night, but this morning as well. Yes, I know, I'm so happy. And he started talking to me again. Yay! He's only just cost me like $1,000 in vet bills. So any donations welcome. They go to the Sarah Fund. Right? But the old man, he's doing quite well. Right? He's doing quite well. I have hope now. I was starting to lose a bit of hope. I've got to admit, I was pretty worried. He's not out of the woods yet. I mean, he's nearly 19, right? But he's in my bubble. So thank you, everybody who's been asking how Seraph is. I really appreciate that. And yeah, just to see him eating food properly and me not having to get a syringe and shove it down his neck, that was like, yes. So thank you, everybody. Okay, hello, Evil Alaska. How are you? Oh, you were 94 minutes early. Hey, Kat. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Tracy Burton. How are you? Oh, Tracy, I know you're following the mushroom case. I'll have update for you tomorrow. P.S. They've been following her around, watching how long she goes to the toilet. I know you can't wait now for the update. Hello. Who else have I got here? Judgy, how are you? Hello. Who else we got? Deb. Yeah, Ilya, I know. Hello. How are you, sweets? Who else we got? Candy. Hello, Candy. How are you? Car, are you going to behave? I put the date in wrong. Mavka, you have to be good today or you get timed out, right? No special pass for Mavka, but love you. Excited for the live. Hey, Jessica. Is Hella awake yet? Yeah. It's 9 a.m. I'm well and truly awake. We're early to the party, Legal Lacey. How's it going? Shaboogs. How are you, Shaboogs? Hey, matey. Who else we got here? Kelt. Hello, Kelt. Good to see you. Oh, Fiend, how you, mate? I know I owe you a link. I know we have to have a chitty chat at some point. We have to think about what it's going to be about, though. No drama. Don't do drama here, bro. No, bro. Love you, bro. Oh, my God, Angie's here. Okay. Oh, my God. Hang on. I'm going to bring my guest in now because she's too excited too. Oh.
Hey, R&M lover.
Oh my God.
I'm here. Hi.
Are we like...
What's up, everybody?
Too excited to have Antia and Aimee, obviously. Welcome.
And in the chat from R&M, hello.
Whoopee. It's just so nice to have you in chat, and we miss you so much. Yay. Who else we got? Woman. A woman. You know, I can never not say woman.
She's here for it. She's
always. She's always woman doing just the tip to me.
She is.
Yep.
She is.
You need to change your name back to that. It's just the best. the best. Who else we got? Rockstar's here. Dom S. Hello. Julie's what? Oh, thank you, Ilya. Sarah Fund. If you don't know, guys, Dali's got about 20 names, thanks to me. So, in fact, I'll even show you why. Because Dali did this to himself, really. Like, he told us all that his real name is Ilya. It happened one day, and he went.
My name is Ilya.
Yeah, my name is Ilya. Yeah. He also goes by Satchel and T-Bone. Yeah. Yeah. Well, his parents couldn't decide what to call him. And so, fine. If his parents thinks that he should be called Ilya and Satchel and T-Bone, well, we'll just call him all those things.
Okay.
Yeah. If you go to our Discord, you'll see that it's actually called Ilya Hella, and all of his folders are named Ilya. I did that to him. Boogs, my Kit Kat died in 2020. Oh, he was 19. 19 is such a good age. But I'm
For a
hoping that my
cat?
cat, for a cat, yeah.
I don't even, oh my God, I have two.
Says that my Seraph is 19, right? And I'm hoping he's going to outlive, like the oldest cat in my city is 21. So I'm hoping my cat's going to just be like,
Fuck him, Daddy.
he's going to give the paw to the 21-year-old. I'm older than you. So nice to see you all. Oh, All Eyes, my fave.
Hey, All Eyes. I sent you an email today. I hope you got it.
Hey, mate. She was here on my last evidence viewing stream. So I get all the stars here. I get them all for my viewing streams. Love these.
All
These are great
Eyes
fun.
is amazing. All
She
Eyes is the bomb dropper.
She's got all these eyes, and even though her eyes aren't even working properly,
She's
I
yeah.
know.
She's
Tatiana, Bell Mayhem, who else have I got?
Mayhem.
Big Fish, Small Pond. Oh wow! Oh, free Ricky Bay. Free Ricky Bay. How's it going? How's it go? What are you going to do when Ricky Bay is free? You going to change your name?
No.
Or you're just going to be like,
she's going to be the narrator
yay.
of his novel.
You are. You're going to be like, yay, free Ricky Bay. Michael. Dude.
Hey.
Dude, you're still a member. I love you. You legend. Thank you. So sweet. Thank you for staying a member.
He is.
Mavka, I call him Hella Talk. I love that. Thank you for calling Dali Hella Talk. I appreciate it. Professor Crank is here. And if you know that reference, you're aging. What are you talking about?
Shush. Shush.
Oh, correct.
Shush.
Crankin. Fair enough. Lindsay is here. All Eyes. I haven't gotten it yet, but we'll go check. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Nice. Who else we got? Deb. Okay.
Free Ricky Bay.
No. Oh, Bunny Murphy, welcome to the Hellaverse. Yes, Bunny Murphy came up with the Hellaverse. Love it. Hello, all. Queen Hella, Queen and King Michael, and to all I missed. See, Dali, you didn't get a royalty. Sorry about that.
What?
Sorry about that, Ilya. Lara's here too. Sean, my mate. Sean. Oh, you got a membership. Yay. Sean is my neighbor. He's in Sydney. Because, even though we're all like many, many thousands of miles apart, kilometers apart, we're all just neighbors around here because there's so few of us. Our population is so small. Yeah. I just send a homing kangaroo to him to say hi. Anyway, let's get on to it. Oh, I don't recall. How are you? I don't recall seeing you.
Oh, my girl. That's Cherie. That's my girl. Hi, honey.
Nice to see you. Welcome. Ilya Karenkin from the man from Uncle. Okay, I don't know what you're on about now, Michael. You weirdo. All right. Aimee said, sorry, Ola says, Aimee, I don't have an email from you, I think. Right. Damn email.
Oh my God, I sent you an email. Okay.
Okay. I'm on the opinion that email needs to go away. It's 1998 technology. We all need to move to instant messaging all the time. It is legit 1998 technology. It is. It's like
I
it's
tried.
from that era. Well, I know other, but in
tried
order for it
so
to
hard.
leave, everyone has to do it. Like we can't just have some people do it. Like corporations need to do it. But still, I will. Yeah, I never read email. I hate email. It doesn't work properly. Like most of the time, it's like a 50-50 shot whether or not you actually get it or not. Anyway,
Well, I found out this weekend that some of my emails were going to my spam. And I
that
was like,
too.
why?
That too.
Why?
People say, "Hey, I emailed you," and you're like,
But I get all the junk mail from all the ads that I don't want. And then I have someone who emails me directly like, "Hey, Aimee." And it goes to my spam box. I'm like, "What? Why?"
Exact. It is legitimately the same technology that was there in 1998. That's how it
Mhm.
works. And it's not made for like the files that we send now. So anyway, let's get on to the topic for today. So,
What is the
guys,
topic?
well, actually, you came up with the topic, and it's why I invited
I
you
did.
because
Okay. Good.
I was in your comment section, and you said to me, "Oh, Hella, I'd like your expertise on something." I'm like, I don't really have much expertise at all, but and I said, "Okay, well, I suppose would you like to come on and talk about it?" And you went, "Yeah,
Yeah.
sure." And I went, "All right, so let's just have a little party." And you went, "Okay." And then I came into your chat and said, well, "When do you want to do that, Amy?" And you went, "Whenever you like." And I went, "How about
Today.
tomorrow?" And you went, "All right."
Today at 7.
Yeah. Oh, Aimee has a theory, and those of you who follow Aimee know that when Aimee has a theory, she digs into the theory. She's a theory digger. In like
I
deep into the
I try not to be a conspiracy theory person.
conspiracy.
I try not to be. I try to look at what we have and focus on this. I cannot let go. I cannot. This is, I think 7 years ago, everybody thought there was an image behind Abby in the
Yes.
207 photo. And
The Snapchat photo. Yeah.
yeah, the Snapchat
Yeah.
photo that now we feel like may not even be a Snapchat photo. We don't know where it came from. There's no proof. But backing up, we all thought there was something back there. And we all ended up ruling it out that it was the barrier.
Okay. So when you say the barrier, I'll bring up I'll
Pull
go
it
and
up.
take the other thing. Yep. So here we are. So the barrier, as in this thing. So
Yeah.
talk to us about what the barrier is and why we care. So the barrier
Well,
being
the barrier, I think do you have the other photos from where they're further back? This is like a photo from really up close.
hang on.
That's beyond the barrier.
Not that, not that, not that.
There we go. They're right
Um,
there. Right there. Right
yep,
there.
yep.
Right here. So it's my understanding that, the Monon High Bridge is a railroad bridge that trains cross. However, these barriers at each end, the north end and the south end, we don't know why they were put there, and what they're supposed to prevent.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor has been it was to prevent motor vehicles from going across the bridge. Regardless, when you are walking to the Monon High Bridge, this is the barrier that you see, and you should have it in episodes like this close. The next one should be closer, closer, and closer. Do you have that? Yeah. There's one in between. I think there's one in between.
Hang on a minute. I'll just go to. Hang on. What I'll do is I've got to open them back up again in order. Oops, no.
Well, the bottom line is that up close and personal, this is the barrier. And if you look left of center through where the light is, you can see that's where the bridge starts.
Oh, through here.
Yes.
So hang on.
And look at the angle right here.
Oh, yeah, because you have to walk up through there.
Yeah, the angle is not dead set on to the bridge. It's it's at a curve.
Correct. Yeah.
And then when you see the over aerial view,
yes, let me take
you don't see the barrier at all. Here, you don't see the barrier at all. Because it's that far back. So then when we look at the 207 post on Snapchat of Abby on the bridge, and then you see the BG video and everything that's happening in the background, it's not the barrier.
I'm just going to bring up the Snapchat pic. Hang on a second. I'm going to bring up the infamous double exhibit. Why not? It's just most convenient to me right now. Right, so
you can see back there, there's an image, and everybody thought, or everybody claimed that it was the barrier, and it's not. It is not.
Yeah, this stuff back here, this. Yeah, and yeah, okay. So what you're getting at is that the barrier is actually up a curve a bit further away.
It is, yes.
Yeah, okay. And what we've also noted just prior to stream is that at the end of the 43-second video, when the girls are going, this is the path we go down, and they're starting to walk down the path, the other barrier is also sort of off to the side a bit and further away. So it's in a similar kind of off-center position. So we can have a look at that too. So it mirrors in a way what you don't see here, which is not a barrier.
Right.
So that will make a bit more sense when we look at it on the video. So assuming that's not a barrier, what is it? Right?
That's the question. Yeah, that's the question. Yeah. And I feel like the north end and the south end, the barriers at each end are more than likely equally distanced apart.
Yeah.
Like they have to do with the railway, and So from the north end to the south end, each barrier is going to be from each end of the bridge the same distance apart. Now, the rest of it is up for debate.
So we were looking at this also earlier, and so when Aimee got her USB drive, the magical USB drive, one thing that turned up on it was this is the only really high resolution photo that I've seen come out of this court, and it is this giant TIFF file. And a TIFF is a tagged image file format. And it's this aerial view, which I assume was taken at the time, although it has been saved over just recently. So that data has been lost to tell me if it was taken exactly at that time. But it shows like the entire aerial view, and I assume that this was taken by a helicopter, like an actual proper aerial photography, not a drone or anything like that. It's too far up. And it's not Google Earth. It's too high res. And you can see something up here that may be a barrier. This thing here.
I see it.
So if I just, this thing.
Right there.
Hang on. Yeah, this.
Right there. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that thing.
It's far back.
It's far back, and see, it's not in line with this. See how it's off on an angle? Yeah. So that's the north end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't really see anything much down here.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going, keep going.
Wow.
If it's, I mean, I'm sure it's there somewhere. Well, it has to be there somewhere because you can see it. You can see it on the video, and we'll show you. But it's not. Oops, sorry. It's that's how big this file is.
It's there.
Yeah, it is there. It is there. Yeah, we can show you. But yeah, it's really not showing itself up on this big file. You think that is still the tracks, Lara?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's get to the video. Oh, actually, should we, or do you want to show the images that you pulled up first, Aimee?
No, let's do the video first.
Okay. All right. So this is the point in the video that Aimee sort of had found taken some screenshots of and was quite interested in. So it's around here where you could see Abby, and I remember people being quite interested in this because there's some points here where you can't really see Bridge Guy at all, and I think some people, especially in the court at the time, were a bit confused because they thought that Bridge Guy wasn't even there.
No,
but yeah, it's like
yes.
I didn't even see him. I saw Abby, but not him. But he was there. He was just right behind her. So yeah, you can see his foot there. But what's this that's going on? Now, I know other people were there, right, on the day. So I know that that's not in question at all, that other people were around. But if people actually were that close to see those two girls and a man, who are they and what do they know? I suppose is more the question, right, Aimee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, how are
Yeah,
these people not
you have
witnesses?
to ask, like, with all of the witnesses' statements and the timeline, and I've been on the bridge. I've been there.
Mm,
I've been at the north end, and
mm,
I've watched people cross and be at the south end, and it's very hard to see them. So I understand that. But
mm,
on this day, with what was going on, the people here in the background that I feel are here
mm.
are pretending to not know. That's how I feel. I think we're looking at Shelby Duncan, Cheyenne, Daniel Pearson, and possibly a McCain.
Um, okay. Because why?
Because when you go through the timeline and you add up who is where when, there is no way that one of those four people weren't at the north end of the bridge
Mm,
when this was happening at the south end of the bridge.
okay.
There's no way. There's no way. Daniel
Um,
Pearson. Daniel Pearson is a dead ringer for the Young Bridge Guy sketch with Becky Bear with Betsy Blair, and
with basically, right.
then
There are
you
photos.
have then you have Cheyenne and Shelby. There's two Shelbys,
Yes.
and then you have Daniel Pearson. Daniel Pearson is a dead ringer for the Young Bridge Guy sketch. And I'm still working all of that out, but there's no
Mm,
way that we have a bridge guy, older man bridge guy, and a young bridge guy sketch, and none of these people in between affect those images. It's crazy to me.
I don't know where the Justin Timberlake image came from. Like
Huh?
that makes the Justin Timberlake lookalike image, like
Mm-hmm.
the guy who looks like Justin Timberlake with the curly hair, the young guy. Like, where did that come from? Who saw someone that looked like that? Why? Where is that person in this equation? So, who who looks like that? You're saying that Daniel Pearson looks like that?
So when you have Betsy, so you have to remember that the Hoosier Harvest Store camera is off
Mm,
by 52 to 54 minutes.
yeah.
And Betsy Blair's Fitbit has her there at least 30 minutes earlier.
Mm,
And she sees someone on the bridge.
mm.
Young bridge guy, good looking. She said a 10, clean shaven. Who is that?
It's not Rick Allen.
It's not Rick Allen, no. So who
No.
is it? Who is it? Is it someone who was in the vicinity, like a Daniel Pearson,
Mm.
based on the timeline, or do we have somebody else completely outside of the timeline that we're not talking about, like a Garrett Kurtz?
So, do you happen to have photos of these people?
Huh?
Do you happen to have photos of these people?
I do.
That would be good.
You want me to let me see if I can
Yeah,
pull
let's
them
go.
up. Hold on.
Let's go.
I do.
Let's go.
I have to figure
Uh,
out. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah. Meanwhile, just so I'm not just showing you guys like a blob. I'm going to continue to go through the frames around this because I feel like if it were people, then it would move. Like you'd see some movement between the frames. Like if it's an object, like if it's um a barrier, like we thought it was, or if it's a tree, something like that, then it would stay pretty static. Okay, so I'm going to now just go through it frame by frame and see if we can see any more evidence that it's people. Okay, so that's kind of more how I can help. Okay, so at the moment we're there. Oops.
Okay.
Now, as it moves through, you can see that it becomes like we saw a second ago that the line through the middle was like darker and it had like more definition, and now it's turned into something that looks a little bit more like a tree, right? So it's got like a blobbish kind of appearance through the top. So that would suggest to me movement. I don't know whether or not that's movement of a person or movement of some natural kind of object, but it could be either. Let's keep going. So that's at 1816. Go 1817. Now, unfortunately, because I'm so zoomed in, it does move a bit. 1817, 1818. I'll just zoom out a bit so you can see. 1818, 1819.
Okay. How do I share this on your
Oh, sure.
screen?
Just go to just the same way you would on yours. So just present.
Okay, hang on.
Yep.
Just share screen?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
So it's the middle part is becoming more defined, you see. So where we were a moment ago, it looked more like there were sort of two, and it does kind of seem like there's still two figures, but the middle is becoming more obvious. Like it's like there's like a definite kind of one figure and maybe a smaller figure to the left. Oops.
Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to share this.
That's okay. So just if you want to, do you have the images? You can email them to me if you want. Okay, and then as we get a little bit further, I mean, obviously because the phone is moving, we're seeing it all kind of blur out, but it's not going away. There we go. So that's back there. Like, if I didn't know better, I'd say a tree was going out of the middle of the bridge, but that's not possible.
That's not happening. That's not.
No.
That's not. No.
No.
Hold on.
But yeah, back here earlier in the video, it's that's there. That's you can see, and I'm talking within this is all within like a second or two, right? So you got to put this in context of a second or two. Within a second or two, you're seeing these shapes at the back here change from this kind of look here to this look here, right? So there's definite movement going on back there. Right, so look, it's changing from to that. Oops. If I press the space bar, it's just not moving. Changing from that to that in a matter of like not even a second. So I do think that's movement. Like something's moving back there.
No, it is moving back there, and I cannot get my screen to align. Hold on. It's not letting me pull up my screen at all, but no, there is in this video.
Oh, hang on. I can see it. I can see what you brought up. I can bring it on screen. That's fine. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's Daniel Pearson. That's someone who I really thought for a long time was a person of interest. And then the other one is, can you see this one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's Garrett Kurtz. Garrett Kurtz was arrested on April 1st. And the New Direction press conference started on, I think it was April 22nd.
Wow.
Garrett Kurtz ran amok on Ron Logan's property. He used to work with the farm animals. He ran around on four-wheelers. He was back and forth across the bridge.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So does he know Abby and Libby? Do any of these people know Abby and Libby?
Okay, so at the time of the murders in 2017,
yep,
he was dating Michaela Babcock.
Right.
Michaela Babcock was a cousin of Libby's.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a brand new employee at Packers.
Right.
And he has no idea where he was on the 13th of February.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any connection to the Odinites or Vinlanders? Do we know?
I haven't. Not that I've been able to confirm, no.
Yeah.
But if we're looking for a young bridge guy sketch, and you're looking for somebody who would be willing to participate in something like this,
yeah,
as a imposter, as an Anthony Schatz,
yeah,
he's your guy.
Right. What about the other one?
Which one?
Okay, so that was Kurtz that you were just talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so what about who's the one on the left?
Kurtz.
Is that also Kurtz? That's also Kurtz. Sorry. What was the first one then? Hang on. Is that also Kurtz?
Daniel Pearson. Pearson.
Pearson.
Yes, Daniel Pearson was on the bridge. He was there prior to Cheyenne getting there. He would have been one of the first ones there after the girls were abducted off the south end of the bridge. And he had a lot of interesting interviews after this. And now he won't speak to anybody. He's done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he won't speak to anybody.
Look, I kind of can't blame him. I wouldn't speak to anybody either.
He was ran through the ringer. He was made a major, Anthony Greeno made him a major suspect. But if you follow everybody's timeline, he probably is the young guy that Betsy Blair saw on the first platform. I cannot get away from that.
And still, I mean, even if, okay, let's just put these things in perspective. The young guy that was seen on the first platform might not be the killer either.
No.
Right? Absolutely not. Even, and just like, just like Breen was saying, BG may not be the killer, right? Not convinced BG is the guy. Need more evidence to be sure. Yeah. Right? None of these things are definitely not leading us to the killer. But this is what law enforcement had people chasing for years. So it's a valid line of inquiry, right?
Well, the problem is that you've got two young teenagers that, what is the motive? If they're sending nudes, they're one of probably hundreds. And according to Keegan Kline, Libby was too big to make money off of.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying that is what has been said. So you've got these two girls out there going to the bridge. And if we're to believe the major scenario, to meet a young hot boy and Anthony Schatz. Who is Anthony Schatz? Who is he? Is he a young bridge guy at the first platform? Or I do believe, based on all of the research that I've done, that the south end of the bridge, the south end, Ron Logan's property, was the escape route. Nobody's coming north. Nobody. They're not, Richard Allen is not parking clear back at the CPS building, walking all the way down, locked and loaded with gun, knife, whatever the hell you want to call a kill kit. Richard Allen is not walking from the CPS building all the way down to the Monon High Bridge, crossing the bridge, killing two girls, and then walking back. That's not happening. No. It's not. You've got too many people at the Mears lot sitting there watching that anybody walking muddy and bloody would never get past. It's not happening. It's just not.
It's ridiculous. It makes far more sense that it would be somebody who lives in the area or Somebody who had some other way of escape.
Ron
Yes.
Logan's property. The
Yep.
cemetery is prime real estate for everyone to go south.
Yep.
Then you have to ask yourself why. Why? So Joe Lewis, aka Crime Night, just did a couple videos, and
Yep.
I'm not going to downplay his information. I'm just going to ask questions. He supposedly has a whistleblower, and the whistleblower is saying that Libby had a burner phone. And the burner phone was the target. So my question is, why did Libby have a burner phone? Who gave her the burner phone? And if Keegan Klein's Dropbox was dealing with everybody in burner phones,
Yes.
what made Libby's Dropbox, what made Libby's burner phone more important than anyone else's? So if Keegan Klein wanted access to Libby's burner phone, or Keegan Klein sent shit, or Libby sent shit on the burner phone, what made Libby's burner phone more important than anybody else's burner phone? That would cause her to be murdered for having the possession of this burner phone.
Dear me.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, but this sounds like BS to me. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. That sounds like BS to me.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm just gonna call it.
Why would Libby have a burner phone? Number one.
Yeah.
Who gave it to her?
Uh-huh.
Or did she go to the Five and Dime and buy it? When the moral of the story is that Keegan Klein was distributing these burner phones. So did he show up in person with his 300-pound self and give Libby a burner phone?
Oh,
to
please.
Take pictures of herself and send, only to be told, girl, your photos aren't making me any money because you're too big? I mean, I'm just being honest here. I'm just saying this is what the theory is that Libby had a burner phone and somebody thought the information on the burner phone was more important than her life. Yes,
Woman,
no?
You got me. He said, "Now said this."
What?
Oh, it's just a catchphrase. Whenever
No,
whenever the word narcissist comes up, I have to say, "He said narcissist."
narcissist. Yeah. No,
I don't even know this person.
This whole scenario makes me crazy. I've been out there to the trails. I've been out there to Delphi, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. It really is. Like, the downtown area is just so quaint. It's so pretty. And then you go out to the trails and you're like expecting for this to be some like mysterious place. And you start walking and you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is a beautiful place. And then you get to the bridge and you start looking around and you're going, how?
Yeah.
How? And then I start getting all of these emails and messages, and, I don't understand. I don't understand how these girls were involved in anything nefarious. And if they were, it was bad judgment. It was just they thought they knew something. I don't know. But these girls were not bad girls. These girls were
No.
kids, teenagers, and they got sucked into something that they just went along with for no reason. And it should never have cost them their life.
Okay, so quite clearly, Libby was flirting with this boy. She thought she was flirting with a boy. And she thought she was meeting up with some boy.
Mhm.
It's quite simple. Like she got catfished. Right? That's it.
Yeah,
Keep
she
in
got
mind,
catfished. She got catfished, but at the same time, in this whole investigation, in this whole trial, that never came out. Everything about her phone, all of her messages, all of that were suppressed. And I don't know why. I have no idea why.
it's pretty relevant, you would think,
Mhm.
right? Why she was going there at all to meet up with some boy who turns out to be a child predator, right? Who wasn't turning
Mhm.
up there himself. He was probably sending somebody. He could have been sending somebody. Who knows? But it wasn't him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's the young bridge guy?
Yeah, right? Who
Mhm.
knows if he was actually sending somebody or if he was just having her on? But we know that he wasn't who he said he was. Yeah.
Right.
So those
Mhm.
messages about going there and all that kind of thing, how they didn't make it into trial, that's just, yeah, that's mind
Mhm.
blowing that something like that wouldn't make it in. Yeah, they are so relevant. Why were they going there that day? What was going on with Libby and this person who was catfishing her and is now in prison for doing just that kind of stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that even possible? Now, he didn't get done for doing that to her, so therefore, okay, it's a bad act that's not connected, but isn't there evidence on her phone of her being involved with Anthony Shots? Isn't there? Isn't that how we know? Hasn't he admitted to it?
There's a lot of evidence of a lot of things
There's
that
tons.
nobody will confirm.
Well, this is beyond ridiculous that
Mhm.
there is a convicted child predator out there who was catfishing her and everybody knows it except the freaking jury.
Right. Well, the jury doesn't know a lot of things. Like, they
Well,
have
I
no
know
idea.
that, but that's a pretty big one,
Mhm.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
actually confirmed true.
Yep.
It's without
There's a
doubt
lot. There's
100%
so much.
confirmed true, right? It's not speculation. It's not like, oh, we're pointing the finger at somebody who's like he's dead, so he can't defend himself. None of that, right? This dude was catfishing her, and
Mhm.
he is a convicted child predator. He did solicit photos from her. There's there's just no question about it. He did it.
And they knew that for 3 years
Yeah,
before the murders happened. I mean,
yeah,
they knew who he was. They knew what he was doing, and they let it go on.
right. And so they take Richard Allen to trial, and fine, okay, take Richard Allen to trial, but how can you not at least have that evidence come in? Okay, sure, all right, take Richard Allen to trial, but have some sort of narrative around how Keegan Klein's not involved with it. Explain that away. Do it. Find a way to explain that away. Tell the jury and explain it away.
I think the grayer the cloud is, the grayer the cloud is.
Yeah.
The better off the state is. That's my opinion. I think that Nick McClelland doesn't feel like at this point he has to prove anything. He just has to muddy the waters. And that's what he did. And he had a judge overseeing the case who was willing to go along with that theory. Like, no third party suspects. You can't add this, you can't add that. And then you've got Nick McClelland over here putting fucking ISP officers on the stand, describing their personal opinion about a crime scene like they were a doctor. I mean, it's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous.
I've seen a lot of trials where this happens. The prosecution will only talk about what they want to talk about. They want to win, and it's not right, but it happens, right?
Well, but in most courts of law, it's an even playing field. And the prosecution can try to perpetrate a certain narrative, but the law is the law and the rules are the rules, unless you have a judge who is in your court. And in this case, that's where Gall was. Gall was in Nick McClelland's court. And Rick Allen was not just a pawn. He wasn't just a pawn. He was an scapegoat. He was a label. He was someone that, despite all the information that we had, he was someone that could close the case without question. When you've got sheriffs batting forehead to forehead on an election, you have a detective who interviewed him, who walked away from the interview unscathed, thinking, this motherfucker, as in Rick Allen, the motherfucker, wasn't there during the time of the murders. So let me crumble up that report and throw it in the trash. Then we get to 7.5 years later, this same detective goes, oh, I interviewed him. He told me he was there between this time and that time. He did? So where the fuck have you been, Dan Doolin, in the past 7 years with this information? Like, how many meetings have they had where all of the police force comes together and says, okay, update us, update us, update us. And you got Dan Doolin sitting there going, I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody. But then Kathy Shanks shows up with, oh my God, I found this interview that Dan Doolin did on day one, he came back from vacation on day one to help. And I had this message from this random guy who claimed he was out there on the trails and wanted to report his information. So I met him. I met him at the fucking Save-A-Lot behind the McDonald's at Delphi. And he told me he was there between X amount of time and X amount of time. I took the battery out of his phone. I took his EMI number and I walked away and I fucking forgot about him.
The thing is that Shank just wanted someone who wasn't connected with the group.
Or the whole freaking thing was fabricated and Liggett needed to win office as a sheriff. And
yeah,
Mike
it was the
Thomas,
timing as well. Yeah.
Mike Thomas was calling him out. You ain't done crap. You can't solve this case. Yada, 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 yada. And what guy could they pin it on who had no connection to anyone to tell on anyone? It's not like they could pin it on Elvis Fields or a Brad Holder or a Patrick Westfall or a Ron Logan and make it stick. They chose someone who was remotely close to the Monon High Trail, who had no connections to anyone.
Yeah,
Rick
and
Allen.
wasn't part of the local Masonite Society.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
Wow.
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh, no, we can.
We can talk about it.
Because Kathy Shank is the mother of the Eastern Stars. She's the queen. She's the queen, you see. And like she's not just some lady who bakes cookies. You see. But she'll eat your lunch.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep telling me. What?
Right, yeah. She's like third generation, fourth generation. So she is the female equivalent of the Masonic Brotherhood. So she is there are the Eastern Stars and there's a Masonic Brotherhood. And so it's all in the family. So just like Nick McClelland and Doug Carter and Liggett and Lazenby and all of them, they're all part of the local Masonic Brotherhood. They protect one another. And Brad Holder as well. I think Brad Weber. Pretty much all of them. They're all part of the local Masonic Brotherhood. So they do not allow anything to happen to their brothers. Oh, Ron Logan, of course. Right? And that's part of why Dahlia West or Jamie Shank is honor bound to protect Ron Logan's name, because they're like family. They're all family, right? And Rick Allen is not one of them. Yeah. And it's a generational thing. They meet up, they have secret.
And you can't make it up. Like, you cannot make it up. Like, they all have an agenda.
It doesn't matter what any of them do. Like, they have a pass, right? Mm-hmm. So she knows that Rick Allen's not one of them. And it's like, tick, 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 tick. Cool. Okay, we can go after him. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And oh no, he's one of us, so it definitely wasn't him. No. So yeah, it's the community. You're right, Child Junkie. It's the community, right? And I'm not saying that the Masonic Lodge Brotherhood around the world is like that, but there is different, right? So in that part, that little small part of the world, they are different. Things are different in Delphi. It's what I've learned. Things are very different. So, and it's just like with the Odinites and the Vinlanders. Like, I don't want to say that they're like violent people generally, because they're not, right? But it's different in what's going on there. Yeah. I'm sure they're very peaceful people in other parts of the world. Yeah. So not giving shade to these groups. Delphi's different.
It is. It's way different. It's way
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like,
No, Doug doesn't live in Delphi, but he's part of the Masonic Brotherhood, I believe. He is.
who?
Doug Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to respect him. Oh my God. I used to think that he was the most sincere man. And then after Rick Allen got arrested, I was like, who are you? What? Like, he just completely changed. I was dumbfounded.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous nonsense.
it's ridiculous nonsense.
What else you got? What else you got on him?
Oh, I've got a lot.
Play
I've got a lot.
Every
yeah.
time a tip pops up on my screen, I smile.
Every time a tip pops up on my screen, I
Every
smile.
time. Oh my God. To you,
It's just so funny.
the killer. Oh my God. I used to think that he was the epitome of empathy and wanting to solve this case.
Yeah.
And that all changed. And I mean, like, literally, like, and I think that was half the reason why I was probably not publicly involved in the case, because I was like, oh, he's got it. Well, you know, all these officers, Jerry Holman, Doug Carter, all these people, I thought, good guys. And then when Rick Allen was arrested, my head spun. I was like, what? Who the fuck is this? And then I followed the case. I was still neck deep in the Stephen Avery case. But at the same time, I was
you're an Avery follower.
yeah.
Interesting.
Oh my God. I was an Avery follower. Oh my God. Yes. That's where that's where my head was during the start of this case.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
But then when I got involved with Ashley's case, I was like, if this dude gets convicted,
Mm.
I'm covering it. Because
I knew he was going to be convicted. But I'm cynical. I'm jaded.
No, I did too, because I felt like the state from top to bottom needed a patsy.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, they're gonna fucking convict him. And I told Ashley like months ago, like, if he's convicted, and the circumstances in this case are completely different than most. Most wrongful convictions are because they don't have the money to afford a real attorney. And this is Ashley's case. Ashley's case, she had a brand new public defender who was just happy to show up. didn't
Yeah.
have, like wasn't really fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
But in Rick Allen's case, I'm like, damn, he has really good attorneys, but the state is hell bent on sending his ass to prison.
Yep.
But and that's very similar to the Stephen Avery case.
Yeah.
But the reasoning is probably a little bit different. But I told Ashley 2 years ago, I'm like, if this man is convicted after everything that we've seen, I'm going to cover the case. I had followed the case, but him being convicted had me add him to my channel. And that's how I'm here. So,
you know what? You sound like you're a similar streamer to me, because I just stand up for murderers, apparently. I've got a bunch of haters out there who are just like, "Oh, she does is stand up for murderers."
no, you know what? I like, I am a sucker for the underdog.
Me too.
I'm a sucker for the underdog. And the thing is that if we are willing to invest 50 years, let's say you send a 20-year-old to prison for life without parole, we're looking at least 50 years. If we can't spend 2 years to have checks and balances and make sure that we've made the right decision, what you're telling me is that you're taking the easy way out and you would rather just send someone away off the planet Earth to prison for the next
Yep.
years. And I am not going to support a killer. I'm not.
No, that's the thing. People don't realize that. Well, people who say that about me, they don't realize that I just support wrongful convictions. So, and people who I believe are innocent. So I don't support any murderer. I support innocent people who are being called a murderer.
And then sometimes you get caught up in the sense of the story is so overwhelming and you believe that someone is innocent. And then maybe at the end of the day, you find out they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the price?
Yeah.
To get to that point? Was it a lifelong sentence to death? Or was it a year or two where you found out, okay, I've been bamboozled. This person is guilty and I'm walking away. The thing is that our court system should have a more intricate process before they go to prison than leaving it to the voices of us to find out the truth.
But no, some people think I mean Betty Packy. I mean Becky Hill.
Are you talking about Becky Hill? Are you talking about Murdoch? Miss Becky?
I covered Murdoch for 2 years.
Yeah, I followed Murdoch for forever. Miss Becky is in serious trouble.
So when she popped back up again last week, I was like,
yeah.
Hey, bitch.
Hey, bitch.
Like, finally. Because it's so unusual for someone who's on the inside to actually get charged with something. But yeah, I thought she'd gotten away with that. She's a mess. Yeah. But she would never tell a lie.
No, she would never tell a lie. But I want the phone forensic expert from the Murdoch trial.
Oh, hang on.
You come over here and examine the Delphi phone data and tell us what the fuck is going on. That's what I
She
want.
might, he might have to throw the phone around a little bit.
Yeah. Left side, right side, who's handling
yeah.
it? We're going to throw it a little bit. We just want to know where the fucking phone went after 2:32. That's what we want to know.
Well, actually, since we're talking about phones, was it woman? No, was it Kat today who was talking about on X? Because you're not on X, are you?
No.
You need to be.
Hey, long story short.
Yeah.
I told you about my earlier business. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from chaos. And X is chaos. I can't do it.
All right. Well, anyway, actually, no, it was Corn Dog who was talking about.
Did you just say corn? Did you just say corn dog?
Corn Dog. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Who was talking about the Google location data from Rick's phone, right? This is important because
Google. Who has that?
no one, but they should. There's no reason why they shouldn't.
No, for real.
Right? Because he had a Google phone. He had a Android, right? Now, in order to use the Android, you need a Google account, right? So like a Gmail, just a regular Google account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is 2017. Also, this explains there's a lot of places where you do the trade-in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that would explain why he wouldn't have that phone anymore, but he would have traded it in for another phone, right? So you know how his phone's missing? But you can do a search warrant for the Google location data from 2017. Where is it? Because Google stopped responding to those search warrants recently. I think it was December 2024. Might have been 2023, but it was definitely after 2022, right? So they stopped responding to those search warrants. They started putting that location data on the device rather than having it up on the cloud, right? And a couple of reasons. Firstly, because they were being bombarded by law enforcement wanting all of this location data for their customers. Secondly, they thought it was an invasion of privacy, which it is, right? So they stopped responding to that. And the way they got around it was by storing it on the device rather than on the cloud. Very smart on Google's behalf, right? Now, but that doesn't affect 2017 data, which was up on the cloud, right? Now, 2017 data or anything prior to that date that they cut that off, we're talking about Google location data, so stuff where it's really accurate. It shows where someone was connecting to, like searching or logging into Google apps that use your Gmail account, stuff like that, right? So it should have shown where he was at any point in time, and you shouldn't have needed the phone for it.
Or they have all of his electronics from his house.
Mm-hmm.
And on February 13th, they should have been able to say when his phone connected to the Wi-Fi at his house. We should have had access to bank records.
Yep.
We should have had access if his phone was turned in, gone. What about his wife's phone? Did he not communicate with his wife on the 13th? Were there no text messages? does his bank record not show
Yeah.
that he bought beer or not bought beer? Or did he stop and get gas? Or did he purchase any other items? What about his mother and his sister and the rest of them who were going to breakfast or breakfast/lunch that he didn't want to participate in, which sent him
Yeah.
on his way back home? Did none of them pay by debit card
Yeah.
to show
Yeah.
the time they ate? There's a lot of things that should be on the table that were left
That they're
off.
just not. So that's more the point. This stuff could be gotten hold of, but it hasn't been.
Mhm.
Right? So like Breen says, yeah, I can pull up my location data from 2015 on Google.
Mhm.
Right?
And
So it's possible.
I mean, and even back then, I mean, his wife could have pulled up their bank statements. And if they retrieved all of his electronics, his Wi-Fi, his phone. I mean, I don't care what they say. Here's the problem. The defense was busy trying to prove a million things. The state had a one-track mind and a timeline to meet.
Mhm.
And if digging into Rick Allen's phone data and his wife's phone data or their bank statements,
Mm.
if they thought in the back of their mind, we're probably not going to get something that we want to get, they left it alone.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They left it alone, just like every single fucking witness they put on the stand that they didn't ask. So the guy that you've seen entering the trailhead on February 13th do you see him in the courtroom? They never asked that question because not one of their witnesses described Richard Allen. Not one.
No.
But
No, they avoided that.
the defense didn't do it either. I guess they assumed that, I mean, there's always a risk of some nimnard going, oh, I don't know. It might have been that guy right there. It might have been him. He's sitting down. The guy I saw, well, he was tall.
Oh, yeah, it's him.
Yeah. I don't know. The defense, I'm sure, is not willing to make that risk. But the state, who has the burden of proof, didn't either.
Nope. No. I don't trust juries. Juries believe the state. The burden of proof has been shifted, well and truly shifted. The defense has to prove that the man or woman sitting there is not guilty. That's just how it works now. That's just it.
Well, and it's not just a burden of proof. It's, you've got all of these motions of limine and all of that, to go into effect. But it's political.
That's true.
A lot of things are political. And in a case like this, where you have a sheriff's election and a case that's been unsolved, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You've got Mike Thomas, who is running against Tony Liggett, and he's saying, you fucked up. You haven't solved this case. This case has been mishandled from day one. And within 2 weeks, what does Liggett do? He arrests Richard Allen.
Mm.
That is a major ordeal when you've had almost 8 years to investigate this case, and you've had more than a man, like, I don't know. Dan Doolin is a freaking liar. He's a freaking liar. He interviewed Rick Allen in front of the Save-A-Lot behind the McDonald's in Delphi and walked away completely unfazed. Why?
Mhm.
Because Rick Allen didn't tell him anything that made Dan Doolin believe he had any real information to offer, because Rick Allen wasn't on the trails when this shit went down. He walked away from that interview thinking, on to the next one.
All Eyes has sent me some images that are kind of interesting, related to those men that we were talking about earlier, Daniel Pearson,
Mm-hmm.
and one in particular is actually of him, and I think it's Cheyenne, near the end of the bridge. Hang on, I'm just going to bring it up.
Just pull him up. Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on a second. I will actually, I don't want to bring up her messages, so I'm just going to copy and bring it into Photoshop. 2 seconds, and then I'll share. All right. Okay, so there we go. All Eyes. Do you want a link? Who's the
Bring
girl?
her up here. All Eyes. Come on. Come up.
Yeah.
Please. Come up. All Eyes.
I'll just send you a link if you want to explain what's going on here. No pressure, love. No pressure, but it would be lovely. And Half Irish, thank you for sharing the website, the wonderful website. So please visit McKellenJustice.com to find out more about this case and help bring us one step closer to true justice for Abby, Libby, and Rick. Indeed. Yeah, I think it's an excellent website. And it has lots of great information about how to address questions from people who might not know much about the case. So thank you to everyone who's worked on it, especially Luke. Yeah, so that is this guy. Hang on.
I don't know who that is.
No, I'll show you.
It looks like Tyler French. All Eyes,
Yeah.
you need to come up. Come on.
I think it's him.
Well, that's Daniel Pearson on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Yeah, so that makes sense. And she also sent me a video.
I mean, that could be Daniel Pearson, but I would like to know when that photo is taking place.
Me too.
When that photo was taken.
Is it from? She also sent me a video. I don't know if it's
that. I
from
mean, that
the video.
is behind him. Further back is the barrier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, which
don't change
barrier
that.
is? Which barrier is that? So it looks to me like it might be the south barrier.
I don't. No, I think it's at the north end.
Yeah.
Just because the south end bridge has a major dip in it.
Mm.
And the barrier at the north end curves to the, like, if you're walking up, you walk up, you have to pass the barrier to the right. On the south end, it's like dead on. Hold
Isn't
on.
it weird that they made a
Let's
video?
leave this up so I can take it. Hold on. Okay.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yeah. What have you got there?
None. I snipped it. I wanted
Oh,
to capture that.
hello. Hey, baby.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm trying to
How are
see if I can
you?
look at something while I talk. I haven't put that stuff in my folder, like in the public folder yet, because I've been trying to sort it out, but I'm pretty sure it's from the Carroll County Comment, some project they were doing,
Mm-hmm.
something related to that. They were and it was for a class or something, but I cannot remember the girl's name.
For what?
This thing that he's doing, they were filming something for, I don't know if it was like theater. That's why I
Okay.
hate talking if I don't remember, because it's
Yeah.
possible
Okay,
I'm
so
mixing it up with a different thing, but it was something while he was maybe a senior. I think he was in high school, but he was younger.
who do you think this is in this picture? Is this Daniel Pearson or is it Kyle Smith? Who is
Oh,
it?
it is. Yeah, the male is Daniel Pearson.
That's
Right.
okay.
I thought you were asking about the girl. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Okay, so it's Daniel Pearson, and so you're sending me that because we were talking about
Yeah.
his likeness to the sketch, and so yeah, he has obviously been to the bridge, and you also sent me a video of the bridge and noted the 310 mark. Let me bring it up. Hang on.
I'm kind of where Aimee is with that, where it looks an awful lot like a person, but I feel like I can't trust my eyes right now when it comes to visuals, but I think you would
Sure.
probably be able to see if there are differences in, because she took that video real close to the time of, like, it was within just over a month. And so the landscape is probably as close as anybody will get besides Julie Melvin. I don't know if she got the barrier in her video though, but Bonnie Raitt did. So
Right.
if you can find a frame in there, I think if anybody can, it would be you. I guess maybe for comparison. But she's not as far
Yeah.
back as Libby is. That was why I sent it to you, because she turns around just like Libby did to take the picture of Abby right there. But I don't know. I can't remember if what is seen in the background of the Bridge Guy video.
So in the 207 Snapchat picture of Abby, and now that we have the BG video, I think that we all can agree that we all thought we saw something in the background. So Hella, if you can pull this, when I emailed you earlier today and I said we should do this live. So
Yeah.
if you could pull up the BG video live.
Yep.
And this is you doing it. It's not me. So
Yep.
all of you people who think that I'm like making this up, Jesus, it's ridiculous. Like, we're trying to get answers. We're not trying to play games. But if you can pull up the video
Yep. Hang on a minute.
and go all the way back to the beginning, and between 11 seconds, I'm going to say 11 seconds and 14 seconds, you have to find the right niche to stop and then capture the area behind Abby and the BG. And then you have to zoom in. You've got to zoom. I think I zoomed in like 800 times on my photo app.
Mm-hmm. You said between 11 and 14 seconds.
Yes.
I think it's actually, whoops. I've cropped it down because it's around there. I cannot crop it down though.
Can you do it live or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's around.
Mohawk,
Yeah.
send them to me. I will look at anything. I will.
It's
Whoa.
about there. You can see like when she's fully in frame and she is.
Okay, why can't I see what you're doing?
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm boomering. That's all right.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
No.
Yeah, Mohawk, email me. And I think when the BG video came out, everybody was so immersed in just watching it. Number one, number
There it is.
two, yes, there are people standing back there on the bridge, and I know even when the photo came out of Abby at 207, we all thought there was something back there on the bridge, but everybody kept dismissing it because they thought it was the barrier, thinking the barrier was right there on top the bridge, and that's not the case. Yeah. Okay, but what are you using to zoom in? Because I used my own photo app on my laptop, and the pixelation wasn't there.
What do you mean the pixelation wasn't there? Like you would.
So, like when you zoom in, like
Yeah.
the closer that you get. So
Yep.
do you have the picture I sent you
Yeah,
with
sure.
with the red lines coming down?
Yep.
Showing?
Hang on, we'll just go through this one.
Yes.
Okay, so yours just blurs out, right?
It is. It
So-
does.
Okay, so this is not real, right? So
Okay.
basically, when your photo app, it's instead of showing you pixels, it's showing you blur, right? So it's just turning them into little ghosts. So this is fake.
So when you say fake, is it fake as in no one's there, or is it because the image is so zoomed in it's distorted?
Okay, so it's the photo app on your phone.
Well,
Have you
no,
heard the word?
I didn't take this on my phone. I took it on my laptop. So I pulled the photograph of the BG video into my laptop, into my HP photo app,
Yep.
and then zoomed it in. And it took me to like 700, 800 times zoomed in
Yep.
to reach this. And so when you say fake, is it like truly fake, or is it just a blurred image of one possible person that looks like it's smeared?
Okay, so firstly, we don't know if it's a person. Secondly, have you heard of the word interpolating before?
No.
Okay, so interpolating means it's software that has taken pixels and made them into taken a small amount of pixels and made them into a lot more pixels, right? So
Okay.
it's tried to work out how to make them easier on the eye, right?
Okay.
So because it knows that people don't like to just see pixels, like that doesn't compute for the human eye, right? So what it's done is it's just blurred them out. It's looked at it and gone, how can I smooth this out for this person to look at? And so that's the software using an algorithm to just smooth it. And so when I say fake, that's an easiest way for me to describe it without using words like interpolate or resample and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I could do that with the actual pixel. So I'm using Photoshop, and Photoshop is not assuming that I don't want to see the pixels, right? It's assuming that I want to see the actual reality of what's in the data. And this is the reality of what's in the data, these pixels here, right? So if it were to do what non-professional software were to do, it would just literally blur it out. So if I were to take a shot of it like that, and like that, and then it would basically do something like that, right? So your software has done something similar to this.
Okay.
Now, I might not be on exactly the same frame, so it hasn't given exactly the same result. But also, it's not the same software, so it's not got the exact same algorithm that your software has, right? So different software is going to interpret it differently and give you a different result, just like AI does, right? So when you ask AI to do something, one AI will give you one result and another AI will give you a different result. And then you can even say, generate again, and it'll give you another result again. So when you ask software to do something and use its little brain to do something, it will do it slightly differently each time, right? So this original, this is reality. That was what was captured on that frame there. Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense, but
Okay.
what in clarity, what are we looking at?
Well, we can't know for sure because we're seeing something that's so far away, and we've only captured a small amount of pixels. This is the amount of pixels that has been captured. That's it. That's all we've got to work with. It's like looking at Bridge Guy's face and trying to work out who he is.
And Bridge Guy's face is a hell of a lot closer than that.
Yeah.
And we're still getting the same image. Like, why?
Exactly. But what I can say, though, I think has come out of today, is that there's something moving back there, right? Like, it's not a static object. Whatever's back there is not staying in the same spot. It's changing. Like, the shadows of it are moving. It's not staying. Yeah, it's not staying static. It's not just one thing, right? So you can see. Just zoom back a bit so you can see it rather than just pixels.
There. In my personal opinion, there's someone or someone's back there, and
see how it's as we go. See how it's you're seeing things change back there, right?
So I can tell you this, that the last time I was there on the bridge during the Delphi trial, Rick Allen's trial, and that means that I was there where the north end of the bridge was capped off, meaning that the planks were replaced and they had the fencing around it. So you could only go so far. And in front of us were a couple, a male and a female, who climbed over that rail and ventured completely across the bridge. And once they got so far across the bridge, you couldn't see him anymore. It was like, okay, are they on the bridge? Are they coming back? Like it was so blur. They were so far. That's how long this bridge is, that you can't tell. But
Well, even in Libby's first picture of the bridge, you can't see at the end of it. And when Julie Melvin went out there to do her video, when her and her husband are on the south end, like she walks for quite a ways before you notice there are, well, they're sitting on one of the platforms, but like until she gets closer, they almost sneak up on you because I think it just depends on maybe the time of year, if there's stuff in the background to contrast whatever someone's wearing against it. But even in Libby's video, like you can't see at the end of the bridge, or not her video, the 205 picture. She's taking a picture looking straight down the bridge, and you can't see the barrier, you can't see what's down there. It fades out of view.
No, it does, and it fades out of view because the distance is so long.
Yeah.
Like I don't think until you're there and you realize, like you're looking at the end of the bridge. Like if you approach the north end of the bridge and you look across, you get to a point where you're going, what is going on over there? Because it is so far away. And that's why looking at this picture, I know that I thought for years we were looking at like the legs or the sticks of a barrier. But now that I know where the barrier is on that end of the bridge, it's not the barrier. It is not, which changes a lot of things.
This frame that you're on right now always messes with me because there are parts of this video, if you pause it, it looks like this is the second platform. Like she's just right in front of that. If you didn't see that she was looking at the ground later in the video, and she's obviously at the end of the bridge.
Yeah.
Like there's so many frames in this video that just play tricks on what I'm seeing or what I'm looking at.
Yeah, and so Mavka made a really good point there. Libby's moving too, so it's really impossible for us to focus on just that one little. It's like a tiny little spot of the whole frame, and like someone was asking before, can we play it in slow motion? Like I'm playing it in the most slow motion possible. I'm playing it in half frames by half frames at the moment by flicking through it like this. See, but it's moving around the screen because Libby's moving, right? The actual camera's moving. Yeah. So we're having to follow it around the screen. And this is about as slow motion as is absolutely possible to get. Yeah. But notice that
look right there. When you stop the camera right there and you look at Abby's legs and you look at what we see on her left leg in the back, he's right up on her.
Yep.
Yeah, like right there.
It makes me want to pull my freaking hair out. So, all eyes, do you think that person behind Abby made them feel like he was a threat or no?
The feeling I get is that they were waiting on him to get out of the way so they could finish taking their video or their picture. You know, when you're waiting on someone to go by, or they're trying to figure out, like, is he going to pass us? Like maybe, like they just look like they are doing their own thing. and they're not concerned about him in the sense that, like, any more than just, we're trying to, this is her first time crossing the bridge. I think, in my opinion, Libby was trying to document that by getting, she's like taking it halfway across, and then she's about to cross the finish line of the bridge for the first time ever, and this dude's ruining the shot. So, like, in my mind, that's all I hear. They don't sound panicked, they don't sound scared, and they sound like if my daughters are on their phone or talking to someone, if it's just us, they'll talk normal volume. But if anybody else is around, they start talking more quiet because they don't, they're trying to, not that they're embarrassed, but, they just get more shy if someone's around. So they kind of lower their voice. They'll still keep doing what they're doing, but they didn't sound scared. They didn't seem scared. And now we know the ground was already disturbed, and they talked about going down the hill before this dude even walked up.
No, they did.
It's
No.
very confusing when
Yeah.
you take it into the larger context of what happened next. I have more questions than answers, but this dude could have been on the phone. He could have, by the time he got to the end, he could have been one of the people out there with the walkie-talkie, and he's talking into that, and he's not talking to them, and that's why he's clearly closer at the end of the video, because you hear him walk up, but he's still kind of muffled, and that might be because he was talking into something. I don't know. I just, my brain has a lot of things that I think it could be this, it could be that. I have no idea what any of it is.
So so do you hear right after the beginning of this video starts, do you hear Abby say, "Don't leave me up here"?
No. I hear, "See right there." When this first came out, I was still straight up blind, like both eyes blind, and so I was just listening to what I heard. And I heard, "See right there," like somebody was pointing. We can't see who's in the background, but that is what I hear. And or it was either "See right here," or I think it was just "See right here." I don't hear. I listened for what people were saying, but I couldn't tell when or where they were hearing that part.
And we'll see. I hear, "Don't leave me up here." And then I hear, this is the path that we go down. And then Abby runs off the bridge and passes Libby. And I feel, I kind of feel like a sense of panic / relief. Like, okay, that's done and over with. I crossed it. We're done. Because I truly believe, Libby knew the area. Libby knew Kay Weber. She knew where her house was. And if there was a threat that Abby was sensing behind her and Libby knew was there, the second Abby came off the bridge, they could have taken off. Gun or no gun, they could have taken off. But they're like him hauling around there at the edge of the bridge. And then he comes up and says, "Guys, down the hill."
Yeah, after she's already said it, though, and that's what's confusing,
this is
because
the path that we go down. Like, the plan to go down the hill was those motions were already set in stone.
Yeah, and the one question I've had and haven't been able to really get clarification on, I know that there was a geocache under the beginning of the bridge. There's one underneath. There's another one somewhere along 300, but I've also been told that there was one by the private drive under where they are right now. And in my mind, Libby is narrating what they're about to do. Like, okay, this is the path we go down, and they're about to go look at, in my opinion, one of those areas, because even the group that was with Bree Wilbur, they were taking pictures under there, but one of the reasons they were going down there specifically is because that's where a lot of people would go in general for one of the caches. And I know there's the app and there's different areas listed, but I don't know if that's the only website that they followed all these things on or not. I'm not sure. I've not been able to find anything that says there is one down here, but I do know there were discussions about people believing there was one. I don't know if
Yeah,
Libby thought there was. I don't know. There's so little to go on. I just have more questions than,
no, I think that if they were attempting to be geocaching, I think that they thought there was a cache at the bottom of the hill under the bridge, but that area, like when you go down that hill, the right side of you, like if you're running down the hill and you get to the private drive, behind you is nothing but a hill. Everything in front of you is wide open. Everything to the left of you is wide open. So if somebody coerced them down that hill and is holding them down there for whatever reason, anybody who drove by would have seen them.
yeah.
This is not a place where, oh, there's a car coming. No, there's a car because the car rolls right up on you, because the way that the landscaping is set, it doesn't work that way. And I know that a lot of people, I'm not saying 100% for sure the girls cross the creek, but what I'm saying is I feel there are areas down there. Once you cross the private drive, then you go down the rest of the hill to the creek. There
Yeah.
are areas on the 13th that you could have utilized to, what's the word?
I think the creek makes the least amount of sense about where they went next. It was freezing.
It was free. Yeah.
There were so many other faster ways directly to people and away. And
But the thing is, I don't think based on the move, I think there's issues with the phone movement,
yeah,
but I don't think there's big enough issues for them to. Can we all agree that watching the video and you hear guys down the hill, that's where they went. You see them both diligently turn and go down the hill.
well, it
So
sounded like she already knew where she was going before she even got to the end. Like that was, and
right.
to me, it sounded like that's the plan. She's narrating her little video. She's talking to somebody, and Abby's not close enough yet. It sounds like she's talking to the video. Like they liked to make those videos. And it sounded like, okay, this is the path we go down, and that's what they were going to do anyway. And his voice is so out of place to me, the thing he's saying. How does he know what they're doing?
Right.
That's what's strange to me.
But in the phone movement, is there enough room for them to come back up the hill and go back across the bridge?
I think
don't
so.
think so.
I mean,
You think so?
it's so tight though.
It didn't stop you
Well, I don't know how they
at
did
the
because
end
there
of
were
the bridge.
people. Like in my
By
opinion, the
Tracy
people were already
Burton.
there. Oh, sorry, what?
I'm saying goodbye to Tracy Burton.
Oh,
Guys, we're going to have to finish up really soon, but I
okay.
want to say thank you to David, MLS. Thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. That's so sweet of you. I just want to note though, like I've just been going through these couple of frames here, and look at the difference. Just like that is half a frame, and
Yeah.
look at the change there. Something is going on back there. Like, look. There is definite movement. Like it's something, whatever is back there is moving. It's not staying static. So, yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I
you're
can
onto
see the
something,
blob in the
Aimee.
shadow. Like I can see that it's here and then it's there, but I can't, my eyes at least, I can't distinguish between what the difference is. Like I just see where it's
Oh,
darker,
I don't
you
know.
know?
I don't know what it is. I can't make out like whether it's two people or three people or one person. I don't know what exactly it is. It could be like an animal for all I know. But all I know is that it's moving. Like it's not
Well,
it's
it
not
has to
like a
be, it
built
is
object.
until I really was looking at it, I just kept assuming it was the barrier because of the Bonnie
Mm,
Raitt video. But where Abby is and where Libby is while taking this video, it took me a while. You know, sometimes it's hard to unsee something that you're like once you see it,
yeah.
your brain will picture it. And for me, I try to be aware of that, but I haven't been able to unsee it until probably yesterday when I was looking at it again and
Mm,
realizing where the girls are and how far back that is.
mm,
I mean, I guess I would need to be able to know if it's even possible to see, you know, because I can't tell. I know at that video I sent you, she takes another one from the end of the bridge, and I should
yeah.
probably look at that again. But you know, I've been convinced it was just the barrier, but maybe it's not. I just can't tell.
Yeah. And Dr. Silkman, regarding making a gift of it, I would have to do what the state did and stabilize it, because when you see how it jumps around because the camera is moving, see how it moves, right? So I would need to do kind of like a tracking kind of thing and take that part of the bridge and put it in the center so that you could focus on it. But if I can do that, then yeah, it would be worth making a GIF or a little movie of it so we can make it slow motion and actually really focus in on it and watch it move, rather than have to like look at it move around the screen. Does that make sense? Because it's the same thing as what the state did with Bridge Guy, because Bridge Guy, they made a loop of him and you could see him walking, but he was centered in the screen. Yeah, so it's called object tracking. But yeah, they called it the stabilized version, stabilized and enhanced. So
It's
yeah, they make
frustrating.
yeah, I know it's frustrating, but I mean, obviously Libby was not that focused on cinematography at the time, so
Yeah.
No, but I
yeah.
mean, when you're there in person,
Mm,
it is from one end of the bridge to the other. It's very difficult to see.
mm,
It is. It's so far, and
yeah. Anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. Aimee, thank you. It's been lovely to have
oh my
you. What
God,
a wonderful
no,
guest.
thank you.
I guess
So,
And
thanks for letting me hop in
always,
on the tail end.
you're
oh my God,
awesome.
no,
We'll pick up where we left off another time.
I love having you here, All Eyes. You're just amazing. Um, and so this was the exact one that Judge Gold released. No, the video, you mean? AP,
That's
thank
how
you
we
for the
lost her.
$4.99. Oh, let's not open that Pandora's box,
She said
shall
no,
we?
and then she fell out of the studio.
No, let's just say if it was up to Judge Gold, we would have no videos.
Right?
You will
no video
have
hours.
no
We
Anytime
would
videos.
have
Jody wants to
nothing.
load one of these on somebody's flash drive, because everybody's been asking for it, all she has to do is just load it on one. She's taking her sweet time.
Hey, Joanna.
I would love all of the videos. I think there's 4. I think the jury saw 4.
There's a
Uh,
30-second version, the
yeah,
full version, the stabilized version, and then one with enhanced audio. I was looking
yeah,
at it earlier, the different whatevers.
But we
yeah.
only have one.
Yeah.
And it didn't come from the court.
It
No,
should
it,
have all of these should have been available a long time ago. The
Yeah,
holdup
yeah,
is it frustrates me. Like, what are we doing here? We should not
yeah.
still even be asking for them and her sending out duplicate requests when she knows everybody wants all of them. Like, it's a bad system.
Yep,
it's not a bad
absolutely.
system. This is literally hide the ball. That's what
By
this is.
design.
Hide the ball,
Yeah.
and everything that people need to make us look bad, we're not going to let go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what it boils down to.
That's only going to
Because-
make them look worse for not, for waiting longer. Then it's going to be obvious. But I don't think they think too hard about much.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
They don't have a lot of
Exactly.
foresight.
They don't care.
So, yeah, I just don't love any arguments about the fact that we have this video. I think it's amazing that we have this video because we would not have any video if it weren't for the fact that we have the video. Yeah, the judge was not going to let us have the video. We would not have the video from the court whatsoever.
She would like to
and that's very
starve
clear.
us dry. Like she just wants to starve by the time she releases them, she wants everybody to have lost interest.
Has anyone sent in for that exhibit? Oh, it's been on everyone's list, hasn't it?
Since March.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
we've been
there's
requesting
been a
it
few
from
yes
the
please
court
now.
and the state and all of the agencies since sentencing, but officially with the little protocol they put in place since March, we have been requesting, lots of us.
No cameras in court is a definite conviction. Well, yeah, most things are a definite conviction. I think there's about 4 or 5% of cases are not guilty, but I'm sure a lot of people are guilty, but a lot of people aren't. So anyway,
True.
thank you both. Unfortunately,
you.
I have an appointment, and I've got an old cat to look after who needs his medication.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy to report that he's feeling a bit better.
Good. The kitty cat.
They're
I
pitiful
know.
when they're sick. I'm glad he's feeling better. Or she.
Oh
He,
man, he was coughing and spluttering and going on, but yeah, I'm so relieved that he's eating food now and
Good.
walking around and meowing and stuff. I'm just like, oh.
It's such a relief.
I know. It's just like, yeah, he's meowing at me and being normal. So wow. Like, thank you everybody for hanging out. Tomorrow I'll have an update on the mushroom case, so come and hang out for that. It's wild and crazy and death cappy. Aimee, what have you got on?
Tomorrow I'm off. Thursday, I will be live with Sergio
Fun.
to do All Eyes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that you might want a personal invite.
I would love
Oh.
one. Tell me when and where. I'll be there.
I know. So I'm waiting to hear back from him. I sent him some transcripts today, but no, he told me he was putting it on his schedule Thursday at 7. So
Wonderful.
mark your time slot. And if all goes well, I'll bring you on.
Wonderful. I will. If it goes well, I'll be there.
Yeah. So
Lovely.
he's just like I think that he's just really like finding himself right now with the popularity and his skills. And so he's building his channel all at the same time. So anywho, but I'm off tomorrow, Thursday, Sergio, 7 p.m. And then this weekend, who knows? I have a freaking list of things that I could work on and go live with, but
Same.
I can't do it until I have everything solidified.
Same. I'm the same way.
I'm wondering whether Sergio might want to have a look at the Zachariah Anderson in an interrogation. So
Oh, that would be
Who?
interesting.
Oh, he's my friend who is wrongfully convicted.
Oh my God. You have a friend
Yeah.
that's wrong with? Okay.
Well, he became a friend, so yeah, it's my my pet wrongful conviction case. He's so dear to me. So yes, I covered it the other day. It was the 2nd anniversary of his wrongful conviction. Please go and have a look, Aimee. I had a few lawyers and friends on for the 2nd anniversary of his wrongful conviction. It was on the weekend. So yes, he's absolutely innocent, and he's in prison for the rest of his life for the intentional homicide and hiding of a corpse that was never found. How you are convicted of hiding a corpse that didn't exist? Who knows?
One of these days, I've been meaning to message you about that case because I saw a lot about that case before I knew anything about it. And a lot of those tricks totally worked on me. It wasn't until I found the podcast
Yeah.
kind of going
Wrongful.
into it. I think it would
Yeah.
be interesting to see because I'm a skeptical person. And even I was just like, okay, they got the right guy. Because I just didn't, I mean, I guess that was what, like, how many years ago was that? It was a long
2
time
years,
ago. Yeah.
2, yeah.
You know, I'm skeptical in general, but even I just, after listening to the podcast, I'm like, I wonder how many people are able to, like, if they're not already skeptical, it's harder for them to change their mind. And so there's got to be a way to figure out what, like, even on our end in this space, in all of the spaces where we're advocating for people that we think were wrongfully convicted, like, how do you change hearts and minds when
Well,
there's so many tricks that are effective?
I think
Well-
okay. So Hella, if
Yeah.
you would please email me the case,
Sure.
like the link for the case.
Yeah.
But I think the way that we change people's minds is the fact that cases like Delphi,
Yeah.
cases there, Karen Reed,
Yeah.
people are seeing firsthand, upfront and personal, how corruption and how law enforcement can get away with a lot of freaking bullshit.
Yep.
And these are cases that are in the forefront publicity wise versus cases that you've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're shrouded by being in no man's land,
Yeah.
a lot of people get thrown into prison for the rest of their lives. And there needs to be our judicial system needs to be changed. Period.
Absolutely.
This one is, if you thought you've seen a railroading, this one will blow your mind. Absolutely blow your mind.
Well-
and actually, I'm going to be running the trial in a few weeks' time. So I'm waiting for the Karen Reed trial to end because I would like, I know
More
a lot
eyes
of
on
people
it.
are really, a lot
Yeah.
of people are really invested in the Karen Reed trial at the moment. So I'm going to be running the trial, sort of premiering it every day so people can get into the live chat and just talk. So that'll be probably, I don't know, 2-3 weeks time for the second anniversary. We also ran it a year ago. My friend David, who just gave 5 gifted memberships, the lawyer, he ran it on his channel last year. So I'll run it on my channel this year. So yeah, we're going to run the whole 10 days of trial, starting, I don't know, as soon as Karen finishes. So anyone who wants to watch it, that'll be the time, and I'll put up announcements and things. But it's the most infuriating trial you'll ever watch. But it's also very interesting. We've got all the exhibits, we've got all the documents, we've got everything. It's a good one to dive into. So, and yeah, his appeal is upcoming. So, and we've also got his brother who comes on every now and again to chat. Solomon's an amazing guy.
I think
His
I
brother's
heard
biggest
him pop
advocate.
in your chat the other day when y'all were doing, I
Yeah.
was listening. I couldn't chat, but I was listening.
Yeah. So Solomon's been through a lot. But yeah, he's just the best advocate for his brother, and all his family's wonderful. But yeah, my friend David, again, who was in chat before, he's gone and visited Solomon a few times, and he's helped to start make a documentary
Well, that's
on
great.
the situation. And there's just so many of us who've actually met through watching the progress of Zach's case. And it's a big community, but we've kind of come to this point now. It's been 2 years, and we've tried to like raise money for his defense fund, and we've been there for his family, and it gets to a point where you're just like, what more can you do? But to get more eyes on it would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's what else you can do. And people are like,
Yeah.
what else can there? There's always something, even if
Yeah.
it's just keeping it in the forefront.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you guys. Much
Thank
appreciated. We're
you.
going to raid.
Everybody like and subscribe to Hella's channel.
And yours too. I put yours into chat, and All Eyes. Everyone's already subscribed to All Eyes. Surely.
Yes, all
Surely.
eyes. She's got
Everyone
a
loves All
skinny.
Eyes.
All right, ladies.
We're going
I'm
to.
gonna hop
We're
out,
going
but
to.
I'll catch y'all
Yes.
around.
All right, bye guys.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so
Bye.
much. We're going to raid Potentially Criminal. Sean is streaming Karen Reed, of course, because he does that at night. Everyone say hello, raid, when you get there, whether you stick around or not. It'd be really nice if you chuck that into chat for me. And I am going to play the song and put the Free Zachariah Anderson ending screen up. Everyone go like that. Why not? Why not? Time for the song, everyone.
Her name was Ella. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always alarming because she's an 803. To the attention, excited ignorance. Her cat is staring from